Welcome back to the Caspa Silver YouTube channel. In today's video, I want to talk about what the Bitcoin ETF means for Caspa. And really, I just want to show you guys some opinions that I was seeing on X and just kind of giving you guys this information because I think these are opinions that I agree with and a lot of other people are not really talking about or they kind of just don't agree with. But these opinions just to me show why Caspa has a significant market share to tap into for the foreseeable future. So this guy right here says, "Dear fellow lovers of Bitcoin, I'm one of its earliest supporters. I wrote the first blog post ever written about Bitcoin, and Satoshi linked to my homepage on the original Bitcoin.org site. Information theory cannot be overcome by wishful thinking. The values of all of the early Bitcoiners were about freedom, as in self-sovereignty, but at an information theoretic level. Bitcoin is fundamentally non-scalable, and no, Lightning Network does not fix this. Therefore, Bitcoin has trended and will inevitably continue to trend towards centralized custody and away from self-sovereignty. It doesn't matter how strong our emotions are about loving and valuing self-sovereignty. Information theory trumps our emotions. In the same way, Bitcoin is fundamentally at an information theoretic level inimical to privacy. This means it has trended and it will continue to trend to centralized authoritarian control. The fact that community loves and values freedom cannot change that outcome. And the technological band-aid solutions we've come up with so far, such as Lightning Network and mixers, are insufficient to fix it. Now, that doesn't mean it is impossible to fix, but any possible fix would regard migrating away from the current Bitcoin L1. In the meantime, don't be misled by wishful thinking. Bitcoin's properties are determined by information theory, not by the emotions of its supporters. Its fundamental lack of scalability and lack of privacy mean that it will continue to trend towards centralized custody and authoritarian control." And I agree with this so much. And I believe people are just simply not talking about this more when it comes to Bitcoin. And if you're interested in those core principles of crypto and what Bitcoin came into the space with. Another post here from Kaspa believer over here says, "The working class cannot afford to pay $10 transaction fee each time they use this technology. Bitcoin is a Wall Street phenomenon, not money, not currency. Caspa is how Satoshi designed Bitcoin." And I responded to this saying, I have yet to see a well-known Bitcoiner talk about this and how this is actually bad for future adoption. I know it's safe to assume that it will all just work out, but surely this feature, the fee, as they describe it, will give room for something superior to tap into this market big time. I think Cas has that opportunity. The next post over here says, "The Bitcoin ETF approvers show that crypto is going to succeed in spite of, not thanks to, government. They really wanted to stop it, but it got too big too fast. Now their hands are tied. We need to do this with the digital cash use case." And I said, look no further than Cas. And I showcased 10 blocks per second now running on Caspa. And the next post comes from Bubblegum Lightning saying, "LOL, people are mad that a centralized authority won't let them buy an ETF share of a decentralized coin, a coin that was created to circumvent this kind of control. What a world." And the next one here says, Justin, 7.7 trillion asset manager Vanguard says they will not offer spot Bitcoin ETFs. And pretty much when this news came out, it seemed like this kind of caused the price of Bitcoin to kind of start falling, even though I was already anticipating that once these ETFs were to get approved, we would probably see a sell the news event. And moving to the next spot here, you can even see that BlackRock CEO saying Bitcoin is no different than gold and an asset that protects you. And then again, BlackRock CEO saying, "I'm a believer in cryptocurrency as an asset class, not a currency." And so this is exactly why Caspa comes into the space and why Caspa has value, because Caspa is trying to remain a currency. It's trying to keep true to becoming a type of currency in the space. And this leaves the market completely wide open for a project to fulfill this, because no project has fulfilled this. Most projects are focused on NFTs, layer 2 scaling solutions and all these kind of other things. But Caspa is focusing on the base layer and trying to make it the most secured, scalable proof of work in existence. That way, people can actually have a system that is permissionless and censorship resistant and can be used as a medium of exchange. It could be used as a store of value, but ultimately it can become a type of money. And Bitcoin, as it continues to get adopted in this kind of way with ETFs and everything, I mean, I hear Bitcoiners say it that Bitcoin doesn't really need ETFs. But at the end of the day, there's tons of people complaining that some companies are not offering an ETF. And I'm not really seeing the adoption coming in for Bitcoin in terms of using it as payment. And we even have the BlackRock CEO trying to continue with the narrative saying that Bitcoin's not a cryptocurrency. No, it's an asset class. It's more of a commodity. It's something you hold on to. You have also like Michael Saylor always preaching, never sell your Bitcoin. You know, it's always thought of just number go up. And that's pretty much it. No more about using it. And again, like the old OG Bitcoin developer over here was saying how like Lightning Network and all those other layer 2 solutions are really just not solving the scalability issue. But again, this is where Caspa comes in and solving this. And this is why I believe Bitcoin and Caspa, they have separate markets to tap into. Bitcoin is tapping into the e-gold market or the digital gold kind of market. And this has like never been seen before. And it's still significant. I'm not here to say Bitcoin's going to go to zero. Caspa's going to take over Bitcoin. That's not the point. The point is that Bitcoin has its own use case and it's just gone completely away from its original use case. I mean, look at the white paper right here where it says a purely peer-to-peer version of electronic cash will allow online payments to be sent directly from one party to another without going through a financial institution. And now we have Bitcoin within financial institutions. And now we're just encouraging people to buy ETFs. You should be buying Bitcoin because that is decentralized. Why are you buying Bitcoin from a centralized entity? That means you don't really own it. And this is going to hurt adoption in the future because as Bitcoin continues to get adopted, since it's not scalable, the fees will continue to rise and it will continue to price out people who are not able to afford self-custody. And self-custody is huge for a project that's trying to be money to survive. If no one can really self-custody it and send it to other people and it's stuck in my 401k account or it's stuck on Coinbase or something like that, then at the end of the day, it's just becoming a system that can be controlled by the government because you're keeping it on Coinbase, you're keeping it on there, and you're sending it through these financial institutions. So that now again, a third party is in, there's a middleman again. So it kind of just defeats the whole purpose. But with Caspa's technology and its scaling abilities, it can allow for anyone to use it and actually, I believe, get adopted more as a currency than Bitcoin can. So I hope this video helps people understand the market that Caspa is trying to tap into, and that yes, it doesn't have smart contracts. Yes, it doesn't have all these kind of applications and DApps and all of that kind of stuff, but it's because it's trying to build that perfect base layer to fit into a market that has yet to be tapped into. And so I believe this is very, very bullish for Caspa. What do Bitcoin ETFs mean for Caspa? It simply just means that Caspa has more approval, that it's going to be able to be successful because it's following in the same footsteps of Bitcoin in terms of its launch, in terms of how it's ran, and in terms of it being decentralized, its proof of work. So it can be resistant, hopefully, to any kind of regulatory pressure. And then we already see how Bitcoin has performed in the past 15 years of its existence. And I believe Caspa is just been set up really, really nicely to have a performance similar to Bitcoin within the next decade. And that's why I believe Caspa is more than just like a one bull run kind of thing. And that as things keep moving forward, you know, Caspa is just going to keep getting more adopted as the whole entire crypto space as a whole continues to get more adoption. So Bitcoin ETFs are positive. I think Bitcoin long term is still going to keep going up. It's serving its purpose as digital gold. I don't think it's just going to go to zero or Caspa is just going to overtake it. I think Bitcoin and Caspa can fit in their own roles and they basically complement each other. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you have not considered getting yourself a Tangent wallet, I'll highly consider you checking this out. This is a really good wallet to store your Caspa offline and off exchanges, because you don't want to be holding your Caspa on exchanges. This is so that you can self-custody your Caspa and have full authority over your funds. They recently also just integrated swaps within Tangent itself. So now you can swap any other coin for Caspa using Change Now. And that is a really good update because it just makes it so much easier to buy some Caspa, especially if you have other cryptos that you maybe want to use to buy into Caspa. You can simply just quickly swap and stay within the app. You don't even need to use an exchange. These swap services are basically decentralized exchanges, and they just kind of receive the coin that you want to send, and then they'll convert it for you into whichever one that you're trying to get. So I believe Tangent is a really great choice. I have a link down below for it, and if you use the code Kaspa Silver, you can get 10% off. And also, I do get a commission with this. So thank you so much. If you do use that code, it helps support this channel and my work that I do here. So please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here. And as always, don't be average, be different.